I'd like to call to order the meeting, I'd like to call to order the Livingston Parish Ordinance Committee meeting for January 9th, 2020. We don't have any people here. Well, we have started the meeting and we have no clerks here. We've called the meeting to order.
Okay, that right TV.
Here come.
I can go,
Clerk?
let me start it.
I have to switch over. You can just want to call it. You want to start over?
Or I can call
You got us on yet, record?
I've got a report.
No, go, you good, go ahead.
Okay.
Okay, you want to call the roll?
Yes, sir. Shane Mack, Mr. Mack,
Here.
Mr. Harris,
Here.
Mr. Watson,
Here.
Mr. Talbot.
Here. Okay, item 3, review and discuss recommendations of ordinance, new business, and this discussion today is the flood inspection ordinance. I don't know if y'all saw your agenda. Mr. Harrell's got an item on there for an introduction of a flood, I guess a substantial damage inspection ordinance, so to speak. And the ordinance is fairly simple. It says that we're gonna follow this particular book that came out of LoSEP's office and some other things. I have some concerns about it. Start off with, it puts the control of the process, takes it out of the permit office and floodplain administrator's office and puts it in LoSEP, which in essence, the permits are issued and all those determinations are made in the permit office, not in LoSEP's office. Secondly, I don't know that LoSEP has any certified building officials, to justify moving it. And from my understanding, FEMA says that the chief building inspector and substantial damage estimate manager should be from the same field of expertise and housed in the permit department. And this policy specifically, makes that change. There's some other technical stuff in here. The structural elevation project uses incorrect elevation heights per FEMA and HUD guidelines set forth for confusion with ordinance and requirements. It rewords the FEMA definition of substantial damage and substantial improvements. I mean, why would, if FEMA's got a definition, why don't we just use their definition verbatim? My understanding is if you have a disaster, FEMA will provide substantial damage inspections for free, yet this ordinance sets forth in here an ability to create contracts, put standby contracts for inspectors. Why do we want to pay as a parish for inspectors if FEMA will provide us inspectors for free?
Haven't we always done the inspections on those?
Yeah, so I mean, I think the issue is during the last flood, it was so massive that we didn't ask for help and we didn't have the ability to do it, and we didn't do it properly. I think we're going to set forth some guidelines and on how to do it, and then we'll just ask FEMA for help next time. If we need inspections done on substantially damaged property, reach out to FEMA and take their free help in lieu of spending parish dollars that are definitely, y'all know by looking at our budgets, are limited on something like that. It intends to use the Office of State Fire Marshal for inspections, and I didn't reach out to the State Fire Marshal's office, but look, I had somebody make a comment to me, somebody from a different inspection area, that's done this before, that kind of looked at our thing, said that they didn't think that the State Fire Marshal's office had been trained for that, and they knew as of 2016 they didn't have anybody specifically trained for it. I didn't reach out at this point in time to verify that or not. And then there's just some technical stuff. It said inspection should occur in teams of 2 for safety and ensure more accurate, less isolated subjective estimates. And then it said something about this particular policy says the chief building inspector has total authority to revise, deny, or reverse determination, but it's not required to provide any reasoning or supportive documentation. and I think that just gets us back to the thing we had before, where we get a lot of subjective determination on whether something was or wasn't substantially damaged, and it caused us some problems. So, you know, there's some concerns about that. And then there's nothing in the thing that talks about record keeping, with respect to revisions or denials or reversal of inspection. Even though FEMA suggests that we should keep all records with respect to that for compliance post-disaster. So, has anybody got to read it at all? I mean, I know you sat down. I know you sat down and looked at it just a while ago.
Yeah, there's a lot to talk about this. This is going to be very, very important to people of Livingston Parish. It's going to be very, very important for the future of Livingston Parish. You know, if we ever have a natural disaster, I definitely think that there needs to be some serious negotiating, or I mean, maybe not negotiating, but discussion on all the details of this specific document. You know, I understand, you know, that FEMA's trying to talk. Well, maybe I should refer to that. FEMA is requesting, you know, that we change the way the substantial damage ordinance and everything is currently being operated. You know, and I'm not saying we don't need to make some changes, you know, but we definitely need to understand exactly the intent and the purpose and what's in here before we go introducing this and then adopting this particular ordinance. Because, like you say, there's just a lot in here, and it's going to be, you know.
Well, I don't think currently right now we don't have any handbook or any method that we have designated to get it done. And I know we need to get it have this done. And we need to have a policy. We need to have something set forth on how to do it. But I think we have a responsibility to the citizens of parish to make sure that we get it done properly. And so I think that, you know, I've seen us debate for weeks on a junk car ordinance, or, you know, whether we're gonna stack a foot of dirt on a piece of property, and to have something this comprehensive, just not read it and accept it, I think is kind of, so.
It went on.
So my question is, none of us have really, I've read it, and I don't think anybody else has. I've had some people make some recommendations on it. You know, they got people at the state and other parishes and other cities that have, you know, have a policy in place, and I've asked them to make some comments. What's amazing is some of the comments that came back were kind of, you know, very similar depending on who they came from.
Yeah, I've got I'm sorry to cut you off.
No, but so.
I've got a lot of questions on specifically how they determine the 75%, and is it a monetary value? You know, is it an estimate, or is it just, you know, you got a lot of wood damage here? You know, I mean, I think that I'd like to talk about this.
Has it always been 75%, or I thought it was 50%?
Yeah, I felt like it used to be 52. I mean,
Who,
also.
who requested the ordinance?
Well, I
FEMA's
think.
requested that we
Who?
improve.
I think FEMA's requested us that we get something in place. We still haven't, I don't even think we've inspected the 400 or 4,000, how many 4,000 homes yet? You know, we still gotta do that. But this is a policy for moving forward, you know, on how we're gonna handle future deals and where the responsibility lies. And I just think this is something we don't need to rush into. I mean, we got it, when did you email it to me, Tuesday? I mean, I got it Tuesday.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so I think given the
Today's on
depth,
Thursday.
given the depth of this document and that we need to, everybody on this committee needs to read it.
Mm-hmm.
And those people that are gonna serve on this committee, you know, after the new council takes place, need some time to read it. And we need to do some discussing of it before we move forward. So I'd like to ask for a recommendation or a motion from somebody that the committee feels that, you know, there needs to be a lot of discussion about this at the committee level before we move forward with an introduction at the council level.
I would like to make that motion.
We got a motion from Shane. Got a second from John? Is there any objection that we, you know, send this thing to committee? And I know the makeup of the committee will be different, you know, after the 23rd. does anybody have any objection with sending that to the committee and letting them set some time to talk about it, meet it?
I definitely would think that the ordinance committee.
You got any objection, Bubba, or you good? So it's unanimous that we all wanna defer this item for tonight, we wanna, you know, send it to the committee, give everybody time, we can talk about it from here on, but nobody's read it, so we don't even know, don't know what it says, so, I mean, not, you know, so I think we all need to study it, we probably need to distribute the document to the whole council, because some people are gonna be on that committee, okay? and-
So this ordinance
Recommendation.
just came in to the council through email
Tuesday.
Tuesday. No one requested it, just come.
I mean, I think
It's on the
it's on
council
the,
agenda.
it's on the council
They
agenda.
introduce it tonight.
And I think there's so much given, you know, it's such a comprehensive.
Yeah, oh, I agree. I was just
Procedure
wondering,
that-
normally I figured a council member is the one, those times put
No,
stuff
it
on
came,
there.
it came from Mark. It came from
From his,
Mark.
Mark asked for it to be on
It
there?
came from Mark's office.
Well,
so-
I mean, I wish he was here tonight to talk about it, but
He's supposed to be here.
He is, because I had talked to Leighton about it today, and I thought Mark was gonna be here tonight, but he's not, so. We'll make that deferral
He
and
said he wasn't gonna be here till about 6.
Tonight to defer.
we'll make the recommendation to the council tonight to defer it and send it to committee and let them hash it out. And let the committee bring it back to the council for an introduction after they kind of hash
That's
this
good.
thing out.
did you call for the vote? Warren?
Well, there was no objection, so we're just gonna let it stand as it is.
It starts to talk about cash value,
Right.
damages value, and all that kind of stuff. We definitely need to talk about all that.
Okay, all right, and is there any other, there's nothing else on there? Mr. Harrell, I never did get an email from you. Huh? Okay, well, I didn't see it. I mean, I'm telling you, me and Sandy talked about it, I mean, not me, me and Andy talked about it when we were setting the agenda, and I said, I hadn't received one from him yet on the new deal, so,
And I just talked to him just before the meeting, but I said, you know, I've been thinking about you, it must be bad.
so why don't, I'll get with you in a minute, we'll be sure that we get that forwarded or whatever to whoever it needs to be, and then we'll take that up with the new, okay. Which email you sent to, my council or my personal? Okay. Well, I'm gonna look for it right now, and then I'm gonna tag it. So with that being said, nothing else on the agenda, I'd like to entertain a motion for adjournment.
I'll also move.
So we got a motion from Mr. Wascom, got a second from Mr. Harris, there being no objection, this ordinance committee is adjourned.